Hacking the STAR technique. Now, I've used a similar process for many years with many successful clients, and I want to share this with you now. Let's go back to this question we dealt with in the last video. Tell me a time you worked in a team. So a generic answer would have been, when I was at university, me and several others had to carry out a piece of group work for a presentation. We did not know much about the subject we had to present on, technology companies. I did not know much about finance, but I'm good at working with people, talking with others and making presentations. So I asked each of my team members what they would like to do, and then we each were assigned roles. As you'll notice, I'm answering the same question and even using the same example structure that we had, and we're going to go back through that example, the answer to that example. This is much more generic. My job was to prepare the presentation, as I don't mind speaking in front of other people. Also, I'm good at PowerPoint and using the computer. I tried to help other members of my team when they were having problems and see if there's anything more that I could contribute. We worked really hard and managed to get the project finished just in time. Then the answer isn't bad, but it's just not very specific. It's quite general, it's vague. We've spoken before about generic answers of just saying look, it's just the same as a lot of other answers. And it certainly, I feel, doesn't stand out or pack a punch. So the problem that we have here is there's a lot of questions that have gone unanswered. We haven't told them when it happened, what was the project, the name of the company. Have we really clearly demonstrated teamwork? Have we even talked about what's involved in good teamwork? And we actually didn't say how well the presentation went. And that's what happens. When it's vague, we're actually left with more questions than answers. So we're going to go back and kind of break down the original answer, but I'm actually just going to show you this. There's a really simple framework of percentages that we can use. Situation 10%, task 15%, and you see action really gets the majority of the content or the time, over almost 70%, well 70%. And the reason being is that, an interview isn't, the situation and task are kind of important, and then the next video we'll talk about choosing good examples. But the action, give me a time when you worked in a team. They're not saying give me a time where in 2017, or give me a time when you were at that company, or when you did this very particular task, or give me a time when you had to review a book, for example. They're testing the skill. This is all about the skill. And the sooner you recognise that, the quicker you can demonstrate that you can do that skill, the quicker you're going to start passing these interviews. And trust me, once you get the hang of it, you really won't worry about interviews at all, because you know the formula, you know the framework. And then results just 5%. So here's the STAR technique by numbers. Situation 10%, task 15%, action 70%, and results 5%. Now why is this helpful? Because now we know it's all about the action. So literally, whenever we get asked a question, give me a time when you resolve conflict. What's the skill in the question? Well, they're talking about how I can resolve conflict. Well, what words can I use to demonstrate that skill? Well, it could be, listening, mediation, one-to-one, not having arguments in front of other team members. And then how can I weave that into my actions? It just gives us a really effective sort of roadmap to follow when we're trying to construct this answer, instead of, as many of you will probably relate, that kind of really frustrating place. You're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know whether this is good or that or that. When we use this framework, we just know what to say every time. Now, just to finish up, get involved again, but this time answering STAR, you should really kind of be getting the hang of what you want to do. And now that we've got this framework, we can actually kind of sit there and go, tell me about a time when you multitask. So your answer should be no more than 300 words. But now that we've got these percentages, it's really easy to lay it out. So situation, 30 words. Task, 45 words. Action, 210 words. And then all we do is we just Google up good multitasking skills. So it would be like organisation, time management, preparedness, willing to ask questions, being open-minded, disciplined. The result was short. It's just 15 words at the end. So do yourself a favour, pause this video, get that done, and then go back and review your answer and see how good it was. And this is really the easiest and simplest way for us to hack the STAR technique and competency questions.